Hi guys! So welcome back sa channel ko. Kung hindi ka pa guys subscribe sa channel, please do click yung subscribe button natin and notification bell for more updates. So guys, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is statics of rigid bodies. So ano ba yung statics guys? Statics is concerned about bodies at rest kung initially at rest siya guys. And of course, kung initially moving, it should move at a constant velocity or zero acceleration. Sabi sa first law ni Newton, the resultant force of a body is zero if the body is at rest or if it is initially moving, it should move at a constant velocity. So yun guys yung principle ng statics natin. So bakit tayo nagde-design using statics? So bakit ba importante yung statics? So sa design guys, importante yung statics because if we design a body or a member, machine member, kung bridge, trusses, or beams, hindi siya nag-conforms as statically equilibrium, of course, mag-fail yung ating design. So, importante guys yung statics when we are designing. So, ang design is for safety. Therefore, without statics, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-design ng mga machine members, machine elements, or bridge, trusses, engineering designs without the aid of basic or fundamental concepts of statics. So in this first video guys, ang pag-uusapan natin is all about finding the resultant force. So here guys, for example, meron tayong force here. So ang force natin is defined by its point of application. So ito yung point of application niya. Ang point kung saan siya in-apply, let's say point O, then kung saan papunta yung force natin, of course, dun din papunta yung kanyang arrow. Let's say ito, force 1. So, force 1, let's say 200 newtons. Then, yung angle niya, ito yung magnitude niya, and yung direction niya is defined by its angle. So, yung angle niya, let's say theta, this is 20 degrees. Okay? So, if this is your force here, you can define the force as, so force 1 here is 200 newtons. Okay? 200 newtons at angle. So, angle natin is 20 degrees. So that's how you define a force. Meron siyang point of application, may magnitude, and may direction. So ano ba yung resultant force? So pag sinabi natin guys na resultant force, this is just a single force that will define so many or many forces. So yung epekto ng resultant is same lang kahit napakaraming force ang involved sa ating body. So for example dito guys, meron tayong force. Say, merong force. So this force, let's say F1, okay, F1 and say F2 here. So itong F1 and F2, pwede natin siyang i-resolve into a single force. That is your resultant force. So this is your resultant force, R. So yung epekto nito and epekto nito is the same. That is what you call the resultant force. So, yung force natin is na-apply sa rigid body. Pag sinabi natin rigid body, guys, neglect. Neglect natin yung deformation. Because ang engineering mechanics, guys, of course, meron tayong tatlong subject. That is statics, dynamics, and strength of materials. Doon sa strength of materials, doon natin i-consider yung deformation. Dito, rigid body siya. Hindi siya magde-deform. Okay? Now, paano ba makompute yung ating resultant force? Meron tayong dalawang method guys. First method is your parallelogram law. Then second method is your component method, using components. Now, of course, kung nag-take kayo ng statics, of course, you need the fundamental concepts of algebra. You have the fundamental concepts of trigonometry. And of course, physics guys. Importante yung foundation natin sa physics. And unit conversion, of course. Now here, okay. So, solve tayo ng problem para mas ma-define pa natin or mas maintindihan natin kung paano yung pagkuha ng resultant force. So, solve tayo ng problem, guys. So, in this problem, guys, meron tayong dalawang forces. Then, ang required dito is to find the resultant force of these two forces. Kunin natin yung single force that will define these two forces here. Gagamitan natin siya ng parallelogram law. Okay? Now ito guys, ito, we have here a pin Then, dalawa ang force natin. Q is 60 newtons, P is 14 newtons. Itong arrow. Now, yung kanyang direction, so yung force P is measured, ang angle niya is measured from this. So, ang axis natin, ito. So, force P is measured from the positive x-axis. So, ito yung P natin here. This is 40 newtons, 20 degrees. Then, yung angle, ang angle natin between Q and P is 25 degrees. Required tayo na hanapin yung resultant force of these two forces. Hanapin natin yung single force, which is yung kanyang result or yung kanyang effect is equivalent dito. That's what you call the resultant force. Now, ang parallelogram law, itong dalawang forces, guys, is gawin natin siyang parallelogram. So, yung ating foundation dito is trigonometry. Okay? So, ito, guys, i-reflect natin. So, ang gagawin natin, guys, ito, gagawin natin siyang parallelogram. Now, i-drawing natin siya, guys. So, this is Q here. Q. Then, this is your P. So, ito, guys, i-mirror natin siya. Lagay natin dito. So, mirror lang. Okay? Here. Then, ito, of course, yung P natin is i-mirror natin. We have formed here a parallelogram. Yung kung ano yung length nito, equal din dito kasi minirror lang natin siya. So, we have formed here a parallelogram. So, these two sides here are parallel. Itong dalawa rin na side, guys, is parallel. Now, based on scientific evidence, yung diagonal ng ating parallelogram, which is ito, here. Ito, guys. This is your resultant force. That is your resultant force, guys. Ito, R natin dito. Now, this angle here between P and Q is 25 degrees. Okay? This is 25. So, therefore, if we extend this line here, ito, extend natin dito. So, this angle here will be equal to this angle here. Opposite, exterior. So, ito, this is just equal to 25 degrees. Now, kung ito, guys, if this is 25, since na half revolution ito, here, so this is 180 degrees dito. So this is 180. So this remaining angle here is 155 degrees. Yan. Okay. 155 degrees siya. So ito, i-extract natin. Extract natin yung triangle dito sa taas, here. So extract natin siya. So this is R. So if this is P, this is also P here. So this is P, which is 40 newtons. This is Q, 60 newtons. So this angle here is 155 degrees. Now guys, kung i-recall natin yung cosine law, we can solve for R. So R squared based on cosine law. So R squared equals here. So, yung opposite na dalawa, which is we have here 60 newtons squared plus 40 squared minus, so 2 times, you have here, multiply lang natin yung dalawa. So, 60 times 40 times cosine nung opposite angle nung R, which is 155 degrees. Yun. So, using your calculator, you can compute for this. So, R equals, so yung square root nito, square root of this. So, kunin natin guys yung ating calculator. So, this is 950. So, 9,550.27. So, square root niya, so yung R natin is 97.7 Newton. So, yun yung magnitude ng resultant force natin. So, hindi pa siya kompleto. Kailangan natin yung kanyang direction, which is the angle. So, paano makuha yung angle, guys? So, punta tayo dito sa triangle. Okay? R natin dito, guys, nahanap natin, that is 97. You have here R equals 97.7 newtons. Now, hindi pa guys tapos yung ating solution because we need to find the direction of that resultant force. Now, here guys, i-drawing natin dito para mas makita natin yung. So, this is your resultant force. Dinivide lang natin siya into a triangle. Dalawang triangle we have here, 1 and 2. Now here, this angle, itong angle na to, this angle here is ito, of course. So, yung other half na angle, which is ito, is nandito siya sa baba. So, we can use this other half in order to find that angle. Kasi guys, if this is alpha, let's say alpha, itong angle dito, here. So, yung angle natin with respect to the positive x-axis is ito. You have this. Ito yung angle ng ating resultant force. So, let's say theta. Okay? So, theta is equal to alpha plus 20 degrees. So, this is alpha plus 20 degrees. So, ito guys, itong nasa taas, ito. So, yung nasa baba dito, here, that is your alpha. Ito, here. So, we need to find this alpha. And add 20, yan yung angle natin. Okay? So, extract naman natin guys yung nasa babang triangle para makuha natin yung alpha. So, let's redraw this figure. Okay? Redraw natin siya guys. Gawin natin parallelogram ulit. Do this. So, this is R. R natin is 97.7 newtons. Then ito, since na-equal yung side nila, of course ito, opposite is equal also. So, we have here 155 degrees. So, ito yung hahanapin natin dito. Itong alpha. Then, after finding that alpha, here, ito, yung nandito. Add natin yung 20, that is the angle of our resultant force. Kompleto na yung answer natin. So, this is Q. So, this is also Q, yung opposite niya. So, this is also 60 newtons. If this is 40, 40 newtons din to. So, i-extract natin itong triangle na nasa baba here. Ito. So, using sine law naman guys, sine law, we can find this angle alpha. Okay? So, sine theta, sine alpha. So, sine, have here, sine alpha. All over, yung opposite niya. Alpha, opposite ng alpha is 60. So, this is times all over, all over 60. Equals, sine, nung given angle, that is 155 degrees. All over, so you have here yung opposite niya na side. That is 97.7. And we solve for alpha. So sine alpha, you have here sine alpha equals, so times 60 lang, both sides. So you have here 0.2595. Okay. Then, so alpha equals, so arc sine, so that is arc sine 0.2595. So, alpha equals, so arc sine natin. So, that is approximately 15 degrees. So, therefore, ang angle natin, ito. So, theta equals alpha plus 20. Therefore, theta, here, theta equals, so 15 degrees plus 20 degrees. Therefore, theta equals, you have here, 35 degrees. So, this is the angle. Therefore, final answer natin guys, resultant is equal to, you have here, 97.7 newtons. Okay, angle natin is equal to 35 degrees. So, this is the resultant force using, you have here, parallelogram law. So, this is the part 1 of this video, guys. Abangan nyo yung part 2. Ituturo ko naman sa inyo kung paano mag-solve ng resultant force gamit ang component method. Kasi ito, guys, if you are dealing with two forces, you can find your resultant force using parallelogram law. But what if marami na siyang forces, more than 2? So, doon na papasok, guys, yung component method. Okay? So, step by step lang yung ating discussion here. So, I hope that you have learned from this video, guys. If you like my videos, please click the subscribe button guys. Subscribe button, notification bell, para ma-update kayo sa mga future videos natin. So stay safe guys, and see you on my next video.